If you're an ambitious professional who started earning a good income, you've hit a huge career milestone. But here's the critical question. Are you using the best tool for your financial goals? When it comes to managing your money, there are two primary tools, saving and investing. And confusing them is one of the most common and most costly mistakes people make. We're breaking down the fundamental distinction. Saving is for safety, investing is for growth. Using the wrong one for your specific goals can cost in thousands in lost growth and create unnecessary anxiety. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which tool to use for every dollar you earn to confidently build verifiable long-term wealth. You'll be adding the next crucial step to your structured financial roadmap. But to do that, we have to start with the fundamental definition of each one. Now that you know the costly mistake to avoid, let's nail down the simple, foundational definition. Think of it this way. Saving is like keeping cash in a freezer. That money is there when you need it. It's safe, it's accessible, but it never changes. It just stays frozen. Investing, on the other hand, is like planting a seed. You put it in the ground, and with time and care, it has the potential to grow into a strong, resilient tree, generating fruit for years to come. Choosing between the two isn't about just having more money. It's about making sure you match the right financial tool to your specific goals. This comes down to two essential concepts: your time horizon and your risk tolerance. The benefit of understanding these is that you ensure you use your money with maximum efficiency. If you need the money soon, you save. If you can let it grow for a decade or more, you invest. And here's why this clarity matters now. Your income might be high, but if you treat your long-term wealth goals like short-term saving goals, you're missing a critical threat. The greatest cost isn't a fee, it's inflation. If your money is just sitting there, inflation erodes your purchasing power, essentially keeping you on a financial treadmill instead of confidently advancing onto the path of long-term affluence. So, what are the distinct properties of the freezer and the growth engine? Let's dive deeper. Let's break down the mechanics, starting with your safety net. Saving is all about safety and liquidity. It means the cash is instantly accessible, which is why it must be held in low-risk accounts like high-yield savings. Its purpose is to cover non-negotiable short-term needs like a planned vacation or a small down payment, and to create a buffer against the unexpected. Financial professionals like Vanguard recommend your emergency fund should cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses to protect you from any income shock. Protecting the principal balance is paramount here, so the time horizon must be short, typically less than 2 years. If you only save, you will lose, because this cash is being subjected to inflation erosion, the silent tax that reduces your purchasing power every year. Investing, by contrast, is the vehicle for compounding. It's the mechanism that generates returns not only on your initial principal, but on all of your previous earnings. This is the true engine that creates long-term wealth. Investing demands a longer time horizon, generally 5 years or more, because historical data shows markets trend upward over decades, allowing time to recover from short-term volatility. This long-term approach is also what makes it an inflation hedge, as assets like stocks tend to appreciate at a rate that exceeds the average rate of inflation. A great and accessible starting point is an S&P 500 index fund, which historically delivers annualized returns in the 10% range before inflation. Finally, let's address a common myth. You have to be completely debt-free before you can invest. While high-interest debt, like a credit card, must be prioritized and paid off, low-interest debt, like student loans or a mortgage, can and should coexist with investing. This is due to opportunity cost. If your low-interest debt is 4%, but your expected investment return is 8%, focusing only on the debt means you are leaving a guaranteed potential return difference on the table. The balanced approach is a strategy of simultaneous attack. Pay the minimum on your low-interest debt while consistently investing to capture market growth. Remember the core metaphor. Saving is your stable bucket for immediate needs, and investing is your powerful pipeline for future wealth. Now that you know the purpose of each, let's talk strategic context. When managing your money, you must understand the trade-off triangle. You can generally have two of the three: high return, low risk, or high liquidity, but never all three. Saving maximizes low risk and high liquidity for safety. Investing, by contrast, maximizes high potential return and requires taking on risk.
The key is managing that risk. The investment risk spectrum ranges from predictable, low-return assets like certificates of deposit all the way to higher-risk investments like individual stocks, which offer higher potential but greater unpredictability. Your actionable insight here is diversification. You reduce risk not by avoiding investing, but by diversifying across asset classes, such as through a simple, low-cost S&P 500 index fund to smooth out volatility. Even with this knowledge, many still fall into two common traps. Mistake one is the analysis paralysis trap, overthinking the perfect time to start investing, which leads to your money sitting idle and losing value to inflation. Mistake two is mixing the funds, dipping into invested money for emergencies, which forces you to sell assets at potentially the worst time. The solution? Allow the mental separation of your money to enforce discipline. Mentally treat your investment money as non-existent until retirement. To eliminate that anxiety and confusion, here is the exact three-phase roadmap we follow. Phase 1. Secure the foundation, meaning a $1,000 starter emergency fund and aggressively paying off all high-interest consumer debt. Next, Phase 2. Fully fund safety, by completing your full 3 to 6 month emergency fund using high-yield savings. Finally, Phase 3, maximize growth, dedicating 15 to 20% of your gross income to investing in tax-advantaged accounts like a 401k or Roth IRA for long-term independence. Let's apply this. Imagine you have $25,000 in your checking account, but you only need $15,000 for a 3-month emergency fund. The surplus $10,000 is currently a liability due to inflation. This money must be reallocated immediately. Moving that $10,000 into a brokerage account and purchasing a total stock market fund is the moment you shift from an anxious earner to a confident wealth builder. You now have the clear, structured knowledge to move past the anxiety of confusing saving and investing. You know that saving is the shield for short-term needs, and investing is the engine for long-term growth. This is the clarity you need to confidently shift from an earner to a verifiable wealth builder. If this simple, methodical breakdown of saving versus investing has empowered you to take the next confident step, do two things for me right now. First, hit the like button to support the channel and let YouTube know this valuable financial content should be shared with more ambitious professionals. Second, subscribe to join the community and keep following the complete, step-by-step roadmap to mastering your finances. I'll see you in the next video, where we break down the next crucial step in your journey to independence.